Cape Tip and listen.
And it's got a great art history, whether you talk about, Hawthorne and Henschke, those are, because it's a plein air painting town too, that's what they like. How do you mix colors, painting the outside? Can you match that color? Can you mix that color and lay it down, But there's been different abstract stuff that went on. And there was a Warhol era. It was the Indian space painters. They were probably the closest thing, like Chris Buse's father was part of this crew called the Indian Space Painters. And it was very design oriented, very abstract. Yeah, 40s.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the closest, that I've seen to like pretty wild sort of abstract surrealism. But even like, you guys are connected with in the DeGroot house here, Nano DeGroot, he did some pretty cool abstract stuff. And there's been some major abstract people. But in the pushback you get is interesting because it's about that Henschke school going back to Hawthorne. It's mixing the color, it's mixing the colors. Like probably someone that was a contemporary of ours who passed away a few years ago, Ray Nolan. He kind of came out of that same school of plein air painting and. Really all about your eye and how do you make that blue that you're looking at out there, how do you mix that? What do you start with? What white are you using to get that? And how when you're trying to get those shadows in those dunes, it's not just a dark brown, it's these weird purples and greens, and that's what those cats are coming from. And I've studied with some of those. I went to the Vesper George School of Art in Boston, and couple big Provincetown people came out, went to the same school, or that same school of painting, and so I know it, I understand it. Like I think of myself as a pretty good colorist, a lot of from the stuff I learned coming through there, But I've learned a lot of my color mixing, I think almost more digital, Photoshop and the sliders, How do you gray something out? Well, you move that red into the green, and you're like, oh, but that's what those guys were doing with their oil paints, Like there's a true traditionalist out of that school does not have a tube of black paint. They make those dark colors by using their opposing colors.